Welcome to the latest video on the case study that I've been running on sports betting. This is for weeks 19 to 22, and the case study is basically around progressive staking and whether it can actually turn a negative outcome into a positive outcome over a series of bets. So let's get into it and see how it's gone. So firstly, just a reminder, the case study rules, selections must have a negative expectation. So I'm just taking the odds at a slight negative expectation of about 2 to 3%. There needs to be a high number of bets. So I'm just taking all of the sports bets which are available that meet the rules. And we stop when there is either a maximum loss of $1,000 or a maximum win of $1,000 plus the sequences finishing. So I won't read through all the rules. The rules have been explained before, and you can pause the video if you want to read through them. But these are the rules that I have been using for this case study. So how has the testing gone for weeks 19 to 22? Now, the reason it was 4 weeks is I was on holidays and didn't run the tests while I was away, so I've only started them back up since I've come back from my holiday. So test 12 is the one that has run, and it got up to $1,058 in profit, so another successful week, which is a little bit annoying because this is not what I'm expecting it to do, and it seems to be proving that we can actually, using staking, at least in the short term, with resetting of with $1,000 win or loss, it seems to be a profitable way to make money at the moment. Now, 12 tests is not enough to really put too much of an emphasis on, but we are winning most of these. Now, the running total is up to $9,322, so we've almost cracked the 5 figures, and the next test will, if it wins, will push us up above that. So how did test 12 go? There were basically just over 8,000 bets again. It seems to be about the average where we're coming in somewhere between 7,000 and 9,000 bets to get our profit. The profit, as we said, was $1,058, and the outstanding loss to recover, so bets which were still open that had lost. So when I say open, the sequences were open and no new bets had been placed on because we'd hit our target. We would have recovered another $227 if we tried to recover those sequences. And our max bet size got up to $1,662, which is a little bit less than our previous tests. It's that one loss less. We've had a few that have gone into the 3,000s. So it's not terrible, but again, if that bet had lost, we would have had a losing run, and that would have been a losing test. So it was, again, it won. Luckily, it pushed us back up. So let's have a look at how the sequences progressed. So here's the chart of test 12. And again, as it always does, it does nothing for the first 1,000 to 2,000 bets. And that's because it's not really recovering anything. It's really just losing its 2 to 3% and not going anywhere. Once the recovery starts to kick in, it starts to move. Now, this was a fairly nice progression up. It did have that bit around the 4,300 bets where it had a big loss, and now that's where we started doing our $1,600 bets on the next one, and obviously they won, and that's why it's jumped up pretty quickly back up to plus 400. But we never really got down further than the negative 200 there. So again, not too bad. Had it lost, yes, that would have been a losing test. We would have recorded it as a loss and moved on to a new test. But from then on, it just seemed to progress fairly good. No massive bets after that. Just a few sequences being recovered, and eventually we got up to the $1,000. Now you'll notice that we got close to, or we just hit over the $1,000 around the 7,000 mark. It touched the line there. Now it did get over 1,000, but what ended up happening is the open bets which were still going on lost. So it wasn't placing new bets because it had got to the 1,000, so it stopped placing new bets, but the bets which were still open had a loss, so it brought us back under the 1,000. And once we got back under the 1,000, it started to then reopen those sequences and do more bets, and that's why it continued on for another 1,400 bets. It had to go recover those things, and eventually it got back above 1,000, and the bets beyond those closed off, and we ended up just over $1,000, so 1,058. So another successful test in that it won, not successful in that it's proving my hypothesis that it should lose. But again, I'll run another test and we'll see where we end up. Hopefully we win again, because this is real money and it goes in the account, which is great, but we'll see where we end up. So thanks for watching the video, and if you've got any questions, feel free to post them in the comments, and hopefully you also get a profit this week. Thanks for watching.